Hello, happy, that's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I vlogged my night routine last night and I was in a very grumpy mood, and then I edited the vlog today. I just didn't like the energy that the video was giving off. I just basically made some dinner and then I did my skincare, showered, and then obviously I went to bed at 8:30 last night. And I went to sleep at that time, which is so crazy because I don't go to bed that early. I think I was just really exhausted and really tired. So I just got home. It is 5:30 and I just thought that I'd vlog this evening and show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make dinner, which is a HelloFresh meal. Yeah, I accidentally got HelloFresh this week, and by accident I mean it just went off from our account and we realized we didn't cancel our subscription, which was really annoying because we finally got into like a good grocery routine, and then now we have like 6 HelloFresh meals that we have to make. Not that I'm complaining, but it just kind of like takes up more grocery budget than usual, which means I couldn't get any of my snacks. So I'm a little sour about that, but that's okay. We're making this tonight. I think, what is it called? Easy, I'm trying to read that backwards. Easy Hasselback chicken and spiced potatoes. Oh, that looks really great. So, but if you want to see the recipe, I guess I can send it to you on Instagram. Just send me a message and I'll send that to you. I feel really good today. I listened to a few like TED Talks. Let me just take my jacket off. Okay, great. Now we've set up here. I just want to have a little chat with you guys, that's all. I listened to a few YouTube videos today, TED Talk videos that I found through TikTok. This girl mentioning it in her TikTok video, like, this is all the TED Talks I've been listening to, and then she made like a list, and so I went and watched them today, and they were just so good, so motivating, so uplifting, and I thought that I would link them down below. Hopefully I remember to do that. There was one quote that stuck out to me, and it was, people never rise above their opinions of themselves, which is so crazy because the things that I think about myself can sometimes be quite negative. My opinion of myself is not always positive, and so at the moment I would say that my opinion of myself is okay, but I don't think that I'm that great. Do you know what I mean? That just means that if I continue thinking that about myself, I'm just gonna stay, that I'm never gonna be able to like live up to my full potential. And so it really encouraged me to just really think how I talk to myself and really consider my opinion of who I am. I kind of just want to go on a journey where I rewire my brain into thinking that I do belong, that I do have a purpose. You can easily feel so out of place and that you're not good enough in whatever you're doing, and I do feel that quite often. So yeah, it's just really encouraging today, just hearing that that's something I need to work on, and I just feel ready to kind of embrace that side of me and to kind of just like level up a bit. Going on that journey of self-love is never easy. I've been on that journey for a while now, but that's more related to my body and how my body looks. I haven't been the kindest to myself in regards to how I look, but I think more spiritually and mentally, I think that there is a lot more space for me to grow and become better into, which I'm really excited about because they can only take me places where I actually want to be in the future. For the last couple of days since we went into level 2, New Zealand went into alert level 2, which means I get to go back to the office and I'm working in the office again. And the first few days of being back in the office was so overwhelming and just way too much for me. And 3 days leading to that, I was spending about 14 hours on my phone, just consuming so much content, I would say. And I think after 3 days I was just so burnt out, and then I had to go back to work, so I kind of took a break from my phone and Instagram and TikTok just for a little bit, and I noticed an an insane difference in my mind and just how I feel. And I think we have a tendency to just kind of like numb our feelings. Well, I do personally. If I'm actually going to be super vulnerable right now, it's super personal, I tend to numb my feelings, my thoughts by just kind of like getting on my phone and trying to get away from the things that I don't really want to think about in my life. That's kind of like how I cope with things. I don't like to spend hours in the shower. Not that anyone should, but usually people like to spend time in the shower or go for walks to kind of just like let your mind go and think for a bit. But I'm not someone that's really drawn to that. I don't really like to think too much or to get too much in my head because I get just so overwhelmed and stressed. So then I just kind of like turn to things like social media that kind of numbs that part for me, which I don't think is good. But I realized when I got off of social media for last week, I was a lot more in the moment, which, hello, that's what happens when you're not on your phone the whole time. But it's just crazy how you actually appreciate being more in the moment too. Like, I really just appreciated sitting on the couch and drinking a coffee with Joe and just being fully there and not worrying about anything that's going on outside in the world. I find that really hard to just be still. Like, I find it challenging just to kind of wind down and but I think I need to practice that more, you know, just being quiet and just meditating even. I think would be really good for me to just take that and just really focus on one thing at a time instead of just getting overwhelmed by so much that my brain wants to think about. I've realized how much more I'm happier when I'm not on social media as much. And obviously I'm on there and here to create content, but it's also made me kind of realize that I don't just want to create whatever. I want to be way more intentional with what I say, what I post, what I share, because I'm really picky with how I want to spend my time. So I need to be very, very picky with what I share, because that is time that I take from people, if that makes sense. It's kind of like made me think about a lot of things a lot more, how I want to be and what I want to be like a lot more lately, which is good. I feel good about it, and I feel like I'm moving into a much more like healthier state of mind, which is always a great goal to have. Obviously, women get monthly cycles, which is another thing that I found out, and so each week looks so different to me. Like, other weeks I am just overwhelmed that I feel like my life is ending, and then I get my period the next day and I'm like, oh, I'm actually fine. You know, and I know so many of you will be able to relate to that. I think it's so good to be self-aware, not to the point where you're like paranoid, but just to be like, ooh, why do I feel this way this week, but last week was a really good week? And then obviously life is life and things change all the time. But yeah, I think it's really good to listen to your body. I'm really trying to tune into that a bit more and just kind of gain control over what I consume, what I put out. Or if you're sort of in the same journey or stage in life, definitely let me know how you're going and what you're doing to kind of like figure out how things work in your life and how your brain works and what works for you and what doesn't. If you have any books you'd recommend, let your girl know, because I definitely want to get more into reading too. That's my little chat with you. I hope that resonates with some of you. I know that I'm not usually someone who chats a lot, but see, that's another thing that I'm not as confident in. I don't think that I have good enough opinions or stories that's like worth it, but no, I am worth it, and the things that I share is important and they are interesting. I should stop convincing myself that they're not. So yeah, let's make some dinner because I'm getting a bit hungry. You always think that 2 potatoes won't be enough for 2 people, but it is. It's enough.